right, well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Buck and Tony Show. Today's special guest, we have the legendary coach, assistant coach, Don Tom, and the head coach from Wakefield, 1972 to 2002, Bob Veldran.
Yeah. Hey. Yeah. Hey. Yeah. Boys. Yeah. Hold on. We them boys. Hold on. We them boys. Hold on. We making noise. Hold on. We them boys. We them boys.
Before we get started, this is the mystery question. Coach Veldran, Coach Tom, you guys got to help us out. In 1990, who in the hell was Rodriguez?
Sam Rodriguez.
Who the hell's that?
Who is that?
He was the freshman coach.
Coach, we don't remember that dude.
To say it, I hope I don't sound ridiculous. I don't know who this man is. I mean, he could be walking down the street. I wouldn't know a thing. Sorry to this man.
Welcome, gentlemen. Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show, Coach.
Yeah.
Coach? Coaches?
Yes, sir. We still have Travis Toll, Kenya Hunter, Travis Spinner, Chris Chandler, and today we're missing Rayfield Boyd. I'm going to start this off with a quick question for Coach Veldran. Coach, how did you go about finding your staff? Because going through the research and looking at you guys were together for so long. How did you go about picking your staff?
You know, everybody in Northern Virginia, everybody knew that we had the best staff.
Mm-hmm.
They knew it, you know, and they would tell me, how many coaches have the same assistants for over 20 years, you know?
Wow.
And we never, ever, not even once, got into an argument or disagreement. I'd listen to them. My motto was listen to them, hear what they have to say. It's good, let's do that. Or get the hell out of here.
The latter.
But then I told the joke after your year, we had a team come on the floor the next year, and during the 90 season, there was Bruce and Don, and they'd be right in the huddle, and they have plenty to say, right? Next year, we kind of bullshit. And he said, where are you in the huddle? I don't see you guys anymore.
We were at the end of the
All
bench.
the suggestions.
Buck and Tony, y'all know about that, right?
I was getting ready to say, I know exactly what Coach Bell was talking about. You hear a little bit, then he go, get the hell out of here. That's Tony Bentley. So I understand where Tony gets it from.
Well, I will say this one time, Coach Veldran and Coach Tom, I know this never happened on you. In 2005, that was the year we had the really good team. But we found ourselves in overtime with Edison. And 6 seconds to go, I call timeout. I get the guys all pumped up. They go sit on the bench, and I pull Buck to the side. And I said, Buck, what do you think we should run right here? And he looked at me in my face. I'll never forget this. And he said, you're the coach of the year. You call the fucking play. And he went and sat down. He never said one word after that. But we laughed about it. We won the game. But I understand the relationship that you guys have had. And Coach Veldran, we talked about this before, that Coach Willis and I have modeled ourselves after what you guys have done at Wakefield as far as trying to keep the staff together. Because we tell the kids every year, the common denominator of Wakefield basketball now is Bentley and Willis. Because we've been there for 18, 19 years together. So that's the thing that we've modeled ourselves after is Coach Veldran, Coach Bernhardt, and Coach Tom. So we'll segue into that, Coach Veldran and Coach Tom as well, too. I'll let you guys go one at a time. What was the first year that you guys started coaching? Not necessarily at Wakefield, but what was your first year that you guys started coaching?
I'll go first. Actually, I started coaching the girls JV, and I think it was 79, 80, because they couldn't get anybody else to do it. I had never coached basketball. I had coached soccer, and then I had coached tennis, obviously. So I volunteered to coach, And when I asked the head coach, I said, well, now what kind of offense do you want to run? She said, oh, whatever you want. I said, uh-oh. So I went to Bob. I said, Bob, can you sketch me up or can you give me an offense? And he sketched up this offense called the box. And I used it. And we went 18-3 and I got fired. They hired a woman to teach Hilt, who had been a college basketball player, and she wanted to coach basketball. So the Big Blue says, Don, you're fired. We hired this woman to coach basketball. So I said, okay. And then right after that, Huffschmidt became the AD, and he decided not to coach basketball anymore. So Bruce took the JV. He had been the freshman coach. He started coaching JV, and Bob came over to me and gave me the job coaching the freshman team, and that's how I got started coaching the freshmen. But I never would have coached worth a damn if it wouldn't have been for Bob having sketched things out for me. And one of the funny things is, first day I'm watching them practice, they're taking charges. So I go to the girls' practice and I have the girls taking charges. They had never done anything like that before. I didn't know what the heck was going on. So it was a pretty good experience, an eye-opener for me. But I'll tell you what, it led to 25 great years of coaching. I will say that.
Actually, I graduated college and I went to my first PE meeting, town meeting, and gave announcements after the meeting was over, and it said, if anybody wants to apply for the JV job at Washington Lee, John Youngblood. And I did, and there were 24 applicants for a JV job.
Good gracious.
From Fairfax all over. And I met with him and Mark Sullivan, and I got the job. And he was a tremendous coach, tremendous coach. A gawky 6'7" who played at Maryland, coming from New Jersey. But he won 3 state titles.
Wow.
In one game, he held the team scoreless in the first half.
Damn.
In the first half.
That's crazy.
And they won all 3 state titles they participated in. But the first night of the season that year, first of all, he told me the day before that I had to come and do the pep rally and speak at the pep rally. And I'm going, oh, are you crazy? Speak at the pep rally. And I had to do that. And then in my first game as coach, I coached the JV and we won. And I coached varsity and we won because he had his leg operated on that he had scheduled. And he told me, oh, also you're coaching tomorrow night. I said, oh no.
Hey, that's the Wally Pipp story.
So it worked out. And then about 3 years, I was there 3 years, and I liked WNL a lot. It was almost like American Graffiti back then, I got a call from Wakefield, and I said, I'll come interview. And I interviewed, and I got the job, and I was really happy.
Was that 1972?
My kind of people.
Was that 1972 when you came to Wakefield?
Yeah, 71, 72.
71, 72. So
Did you interview
from that
Did you interview
story,
that job with that thick ass Ron Jeremy mustache?
I had that mustache for what, 15 years? Ridiculous looking thing.
Hey, that was in style back in the day, Chris.
I know. That joint was thick and brown and blonde hair on top. I was like, yo, that's Coach right there. Look at him.
So, really quick.
Well, you're doing steps before the day is out.
He said, gonna put you on steps, Chris.
The back steps. We already talked about those back steps.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
So,
those steps have been destroyed, so there's no going back.
Yeah.
Coach Tom, you touched a little bit about you coach tennis as well. And I know a lot of people probably don't know that Coach Veldran was also the baseball coach at Wakefield.
Yeah.
So my
And a
question
corn.
to you guys is, Coach Willis and myself have, on our journey, has coached JV sports, football, basketball, trying to do it all. But once I got to become the varsity coach at Wakefield, there was nothing else I could do. How did you guys manage, Coach Veldran, especially for you, how did you manage doing the varsity basketball and varsity baseball for all those years that you did?
Well, with me, the principal at the time, the baseball coach left, and he knew I'd played baseball in college and all. And he says, I want you to coach baseball. You know, not ask me. He said, I want you to coach baseball. So I said, okay. And I was young then, you know, and I could coach 2 sports. But eventually what happened, and I love those kids too. They were a different breed of cat, but they were good kids. And a lot of the baseball players only play one sport. Baseball.
Right.
And they wait all year for this sport to come around. And it got to me after a while. And I coached baseball for, I think, 18 years. And I know it was a total of 53, so 23 years. Because basketball was 30.
Yeah.
Then we had the baseball, and I felt I was cheating the kids, especially in 90, for instance. You know, I didn't want to not coach the All-Star team.
Oh, yeah.
So I said, I got to give it up. I got to give baseball up because I'm hurting the kids. And I meant that. I didn't want to do it for that reason. And then waiting for it, and I'm not there till I actually missed the first game one year.
Wow.
Now, never happened in basketball.
No, indeed.
I'll tell you, Coach, I may be the only one here that played both basketball and baseball for you, and you were a completely different coach in basketball than you were from baseball.
Oh, you got some stories then, Trav.
You were very different. No, not really, because he just was such a different coach in baseball. We weren't running stairs and things like that. I think you were much more demanding as a basketball coach, but also a good baseball coach. So,
hey, Coach, you remember I tried to sneak on the bus my first year as a sophomore on varsity. I tried to sneak in on the bus with no dress shirt, and you pulled the coat up and was like, "Hey, wait a minute, you can't ride the bus."
So you never played for me, or you wouldn't have been able to do that.
No, I didn't get away with it. They made me go to Burlington. Sydney and Kenya drove me up to Burlington to get a dress.
Get a tie.
No, a dress and a tie. I had a regular T-shirt on, trying to zip my coat all the way up like I had the tie on and all that.
Trying to get by.
Yeah, so remember they used to say, got a shirt fresh out the package. Fresh out the package with the pins still in it. I didn't even know that dress shirts had pins in it. And I was like, hey, Sydney, hey, Kenya, hey, man, why y'all this shirt sticking me? They was like, did you pull the pins out? I was like, I never bought a dress shirt. So I had to get off the bus, go to Burlington. He said, I'm going to get this bus 15 minutes. If you're not back, we're leaving.
Yeah.
Yeah, hey, Coach, where did you get that you had to dress up before the games? Because I know when I was at Georgetown, that's something that they did over there with Coach Thompson. And where did you get that from?
It came from way back in high school.
High school?
And when I came to Wakefield, I felt that, you know, Fairfax County, to a certain degree, looked down on us.
Mm-hmm.
And I did not like that. That cannot be. So I wanted to make sure that when we went into different gyms or arenas, that we presented ourselves as we really were.
Mm-hmm.
That we just like you, baby, and look sharp, don't we? And we play that way in the court too.
Absolutely.
You know, we ain't a bunch of bums.
You know what, Coach? I coached at Arlington County for a little bit for football, and then West Springfield head coach reached down and wanted me to come up and coach football at West Springfield. So I had the freshman team, and their thing was, you don't have to dress up. And I said, oh, well, the freshmen, when we play, it's a shirt and tie. It's just that simple. And so many parents, they came up against me so hard. Why does my son have to wear a shirt and tie? I said, because you play the way you present yourself. We don't come in like real athletes. That's how I was taught. So your son is going to wear a shirt and tie. Oh, I'll play with with what we have. And they conformed. I mean, it was a little friction in the beginning, but I always appreciated that. You know what I mean? Plus, doing basketball, CG wear your Sunday's best, Easter suit, whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? You come in that thing and, you made that impression. So that I'm going to let you know what y'all did, that carried over. When I started coaching youth and I made it to the high school level, we wore shirt and tie at West Springfield High School.
That's big time, Chris.
Yeah.
Big time.
I think the Chicago Bulls were even wearing shirts and ties, weren't they, when they came into the team?
Oh, yeah. Back in the day. That's what I said. Did you get it from back in the day, or is that just something, that you did all the time?
It's just the way it was,
Mm-hmm.
What about the shirt? The shirt, I'm digressing a little here, but this was Travis's shirt. On the back, it said, "Not tonight, baby, not tonight." And I got that from when he would go to tip the ball at center court rather than Mr. Chandler.
Wonder why.
We won all our tips but one the whole year. But
Damn,
anyway,
Chris.
I looked at his face when we would go out there to the center circle, and he would stare that other center in the eye, and it basically, without words, was "Not tonight."
Say something, Coach. Y'all talk bad about me. You hear this, man? I brought a little something different than y'all brought. You know what I mean?
Hey, Chris, man, you couldn't jump, man. Let's be honest.
You could have slid a dime under my feet.
Yeah, but Chris took up a lot of space. It was easy to tip
Yes, he did.
it.
Boxing out on the tip-off.
And you can win tips with a lot of space. This is Chris.
Yes, sir.
I've been wanting to say this. You were the most valuable player on that team.
Hey.
Yes, sir.
We couldn't
Yes, sir.
have gone to the heights that we did without you. I want you to know that.
Damn, Coach. Okay, I appreciate that.
Coach, that was because he was fouling the hell out of people. That's
I'm
why.
cutting onions over here, man. Thank you, Coach.
So you're welcome.
Chris
Don't steal my moment, Kenya. Let me have my moment, man.
My bad.
Coach B, let me ask you a question. Like when you said you gave up baseball going into that 90 season, when you first walked in that gym for tryouts, was your expectations to go to the state tournament? Or was it just like, okay, fellas, we're here and we're going to play basketball?
Hell no.
When you saw those guys, what were your expectations that 90 year?
I wanted to win the district championship. I wanted to make an impact in the region. And with a bunch of teams, I hoped that we could go to the state. This was the most talented team. But the one in 96, they did a pretty cool job.
Mm-hmm. A lot less talent.
Oh, God, they had Staten.
I'll never forget that game against GW Danville.
Against who?
GW Danville down there in Lynchburg.
Oh, my God.
That was a wild game, man.
The wild guy. There might have been 10 white people in the place.
And that's all that were from Wakefield. That were made from Wakefield. Remember Stanton when he asked Malay to get the GW supporters back from our bench? He says, "Wait, there's 2,500 of them, 50 of us. I'm not going to say a word." That was Brim, who was the police officer, the resource officer.
Peace. Yeah, Officer Brim.
Yes.
That's when we were doing warm-ups, the beginning of prior to the game, and we were doing our layup lines, and GW Danville comes out and runs right through the middle of our layup lines.
We've been there.
Hey, Chris, would they have been able to do that to us in 90?
Come on, man. We had attitude, man.
Let me just tell you guys something
we just
right
had
now.
attitude.
Let me tell you guys something right now. I have the most respect for that 1990 team. Y'all would have got the same shit done to you in 1990 that happened in 96, and it happened in 2007. Coach Veldran, I know you remember this. When we went in 2007, we had to play GW Danville. I remember after the game, the next day, my phone rang, and it was you. And you called me, and you said, well, you took that ass whooping down there, didn't you? First thing you said, Coach, and I'm going to tell you, that was a total – I love y'all, man. Y'all would have went to GW Danville, came back with your tails between your ass, too, just like all the other Wakefield teams did.
Don't put that on us, man. I ain't going for that.
No. I didn't say
you guys didn't play them.
Yeah, but I'm just saying they wouldn't have ran through our line like that. Now, we may have lost, but they wouldn't have ran through our line.
Listen, we had it similar. The way they had it set up there, Buck, you remember this. At halftime, we all had to go to the locker room.
Same way.
Well, they had us going the same way through one door. My guys are taught when the horn goes off, sprint your ass to that locker room. GW was taught when the horn goes off, sprint to the locker room. Now, I want y'all to picture 30 guys sprinting to try to get through one door. This was the biggest fight I had ever seen where they had locked the doors and my guys were on the other side, 4 or 5 against each other, fighting, fist fighting, and we couldn't get through. The police, everything.
Wow.
It was so bad. I'm just telling y'all, 1990, 96, 2007.
No, we'd have been swinging. Hey, Tony, you ain't put that on 90.
I'm just telling y'all.
It's a different breed down there, Chris.
Yeah.
It's a different breed.
But you know what, Buck? Those kids down there play for a whole different reason. They playing for a way out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They playing for a way out. So it's different. When we played that Christmas tournament that year, Coach Tom, we went up to D.C. and we played McKinley Tech.
Yeah.
Baloo was in that tournament. So I thought that really helped us out when we went out there and played some inner city teams. It kind of toughened us up a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think when we came back from that tournament, even though we lost from Springbrook, we came back with a little bit of swagger and a little bit of an attitude like, okay, we see what it takes, because those teams over in the inner city, like I say, and down south in the 757, they play for a different reason.
Yeah.
Talking about that experience, this winter, my granddaughter was playing for Walter Johnson, and I'm sitting talking to a guy in the stands, and I asked, they were playing Springbrook, and I asked, where he had gone to school. He said he was at Springbrook, and he was on the basketball team. And then he said, his best recollection of playing was in that Christmas tournament at Georgetown when they played against us. I said, well, I was in that game
and they
too.
kicked that
game, man.
They did.
Yeah, they didn't kick our ass.
No, it wasn't bad.
Good game.
You, Coach. Thank you.
The score didn't reflect the game.
I was just rusty.
They won the state championship in Maryland that year.
Yeah.
Each side won it. I hate saying it, but they beat us.
Man,
So
they
we
pick and
lost
rolled us to death.
state champion.
They've always had good teams. They were state champion, I think, not this past year, but the year before last, I think they were state champions again.
Springbrook?
Yeah, I think so.
They gave us ass whoop.
Chris, they said we didn't get beat that bad, man. Why you keep saying that?
No. Y'all see that score?
The score didn't reflect the game.
Yeah, okay.
We
We
lost.
took an ass whoop. I think somebody on that team dunked on Kenya too.
No.
No?
See, why you starting, man?
I know, my bad. Kenya got dunked on.
A lot.
Hey, Buck.
Let
I'm
me
saying,
ask you-
I was watching tape the other night, and I kept seeing this number 1, 2 keep trying to contest with everybody's dunk. So it's a habit for you, my man.
Let me get going. I'm gonna ask Coach Veldran, Coach Tom, what was so special about this 1990 team?
I think it was just a great bunch of guys, good players. They each player had their own contributions. Even Charles Oliver made contributions at number 2 guard spot. He was a big help there. Everybody was able to maximize their talents and play together well. And beating South Lakes out at Robinson that night was tremendous with Grant Hill and his team. It was a tremendous experience. I just had a great time that year. I had a great time every year, but I had a really great time that year.
They were just a group of kids that listened, and they bought in, and they wanted to be special. They wanted to be special. You had a point guard. We had a point guard who, it didn't matter what he scored, didn't matter. he could score 8 points. And then if somebody missed a game, he could score 31. And he could do it and get it.
Who was that?
Believe it or not, even though he's a star, he was a star. I think Travis is one of the most underrated players that we ever had at Wakefield. Travis was a stud. You know, I remember in his junior year, we played Stewart over there, and he had 25 at the half. 25 at the half, goddamn. And
damn, Trav.
A coach came out of the stands, introduced himself, and said, "Hey, I got to ask you about number 44." And I said, "Oh, Travis Spencer?" He said, "Yeah. Can you tell me something about him?" And I said, "Yeah, he's only a junior." And he said, "Wow." He said, "I thought he was a senior." He said, "Well, let me give you my card. We'll be in touch." And it was Mike Bray when he was at Duke.
Wow.
And let's not forget about Rayfield.
Yeah.
Rayfield was,
Franklin County.
called it the Blade. That's pretty good. That's pretty. He never missed a practice. Not one. Rayfield was always there.
Anybody ever ask about me, Coach?
Huh?
Anybody ever ask about me other than the Marine Corps recruiter?
Hey, I gave you your props. Now I'll give you more if you want.
No, we're good.
Got him.
I don't know if I tell the story. I told it to Kenya the other night. When Mr. Chandler decided, since he's 260 pounds, that during the season he needed to have 2 lunches. And
took
after
advantage.
the first lunch, he said, "I got to have a second lunch." And he was supposed to be going to English.
Shit.
Well, the teacher,
Shut up, Tony.
the teacher, which a lot of these teachers were really nice.
Were they?
You know, they wouldn't really, they tell me first to handle it, you know. They were pro Wakefield basketball. And she said, "Mr. Chandler is not coming to my English class." Well, he needed that class to be eligible. She said, "Well, can you take care of it?" I said, "Yeah, I can." So the next day at lunch, I went down. Sure enough, there he was, second lunch. Let's go. Where we going? I'm going to your English class. It's already started, Coach. Come on. We get out in the hall, and the halls are crowded. I said, "Hold my hand." And he said, "No, I ain't doing that." I said, "Yeah, you are. Give me your hand." We're walking down the hall, hand in hand. And he took it well.
Brooke, I need Brooke to edit this part out. Brooke, edit this.
Hey, Chris, we thought,
damn, I forgot about that.
we just thought you had those 3 classes, the lunch class, with three consecutive.
Don't do that, can you?
Bro. You thought you had lunch for 3 consecutive times. Home ec. You had home ec class for 3.
I tell you, man, I need it.
There it all comes out. Hey, Chris,
Yo.
at least I was coloring, man.
What'd he say?
I said, at least I was coloring.
He was coloring.
Travis Toe, he's really good. Travis Toe.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
You
sir.
look really good.
It does look good.
Thank you so much. It's great to
I know
see you,
you were a
Coach.
lawyer.
Yeah, I'm keeping people out of jail, Coach. Started off at Wakefield, and I continued to do it.
Chris. Ask Chris.
Look, let's be honest, though.
Never left.
Chris needed that retainer.
No, I think I've received a call from every last one of my teammates.
Yep.
So, not necessarily a criminal matter, but something. Glad to help, though, Coach. Why don't you talk about the role players, Coach? Come on now.
Oh, okay. I wanted to talk about that. Tony, that question was, we had incredible depth. People couldn't get to us because Everett really helped out a lot. Fathead took up space and could rebound.
You can jump up the gym.
And then we had Travis backing up Kenya. And
Anthony Orr.
he just couldn't get close to us as far as our depth was concerned. You didn't have to worry.
Yeah. And Orr came in the second part, right? Travis Spencer?
Yeah.
Anthony Orr.
I want to talk about when I didn't know that Travis was about to start one game. He thought he was about to start, and then Oliver start. I want to talk about that.
So let's set the scene, Coach Veldran, Coach Tom.
There you go. Talk about some stuff.
Guys said that they have been working all year long, and they were getting ready for the senior season. Travis, Kenya, Chris, and Rayfield, they were ready to go. And right before the night of the first game, Travis Tall is ready to take his warm-up jacket off, gave him the Heisman, and told him to hold off. We're going to start the young fella, Charles Oliver. Is there any truth in that story, Coach Veldran?
I don't remember it.
Hey, Coach, I don't remember that either. That was Chris Chandler's story.
Hey,
Chandler's story.
Travis had tied his shoes so tight the eyelids were touching. He pulled them shoes tight. He put that wet towel on the floor. Ripped his jacket off. And Coach said, "Hold on, Travis."
Put me in, Coach.
All right. Hey, Charles going in. And we look like.
I
remember the next day I had Spanish class with Kenya, and I walked in, and Kenya just looked at me, expecting me to say something, I guess. He was just shaking his head. Look, I was there for the team. We were all there for the team.
We were.
I came. I played as much as anybody else. If I did start, whatever, it didn't matter. I think that, that's what made the team special, I think.
It did.
We were all willing to play whenever we needed to play.
All right,
Coach, one thing. Everybody knew Travis Toll's name. I know that. From Little League all the way up to high school. It's just that simple. And don't forget he was Mr. Wakefield. I ain't forget about that shit. All up on stage with his shirt off, posing all oiled up. You know what I mean?
Well, look, let me. I appreciate that love, Chris. I certainly do. But just getting back to Coach Veldran, Kenya and Travis told their story last episode about possibly going to Episcopal, but I actually almost went to O'Connell. I had visited O'Connell after 8th grade, and I was supposed to go there to play football and basketball. But there was one man that came by my house and picked me up and took me to a basketball camp a number of days during that summer, and that was Coach Veldran. So I had the varsity basketball coach swinging by my house before I was even in high school. And at that moment, that's really when I decided, look, if this man shows so much interest in me, I think he picked up Rayfield also. I don't know if he picked up the rest of you guys, but we went to a camp, and that's when I became a Warrior. That's when I showed up to Wakefield, and however it turned out, I wouldn't change it for the world, for the friendships, the success we had, and the coaches I had. Wonderful time.
Everybody had other options but Chris Chandler. Everybody knew I was going to Wakefield.
You remember you grew from 6'2" to 6'5", so you were a late bloomer.
It's all good.
Coach, was there any truth to that story that Chris Chandler told? When you saw him as a freshman, you thought, like, this is going to be great until he missed his first layup in tryouts, and you put him on freshman?
Who's that?
Chris Chandler. You immediately put him on freshman because he needed to develop.
I mean, right down with Alan Glasgow.
Hey, don't forget. Joe Lowe played JV for a year.
Yeah.
And Coach Tom said, Coach, you're best young players down in my gym.
Yeah.
Because
He
you
was
remember
good.
the guard that got big butted. Come on, you guys know him. His
Who?
sister played real good. Kevin
Gaskins.
Kevin
Yeah.
Gaskins.
Kevin Gaskins, yeah.
Kevin Gaskins.
That's
I took
right.
him to Boston because he was Mr. Junior High.
Oh yeah.
But guess what? It didn't turn
Johnson
out.
Hill. Buck Johnson Hill, Kevin Gaskins. You
Coach,
gotta show him some love. Number 12. Number 12 back in the day.
Coach,
Good guy.
Let me go back just a little bit, Coach. I was listening to what you were saying, and you said you had a wonderful one guard in Kenya Hunter. You had a great 3-man in Rayful Boyd, a great 4-man in Travis Spencer, a great 5-man in Chris Chandler. Were you missing a 5'10" guard wearing number 24 on the other side of the county that could have filled that number 2 slot for you?
Holy shit, that wouldn't be fair.
Yep.
You know what I let you do? Just bucket your ass off.
We'll give Buck that. He was getting buckets back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
He wasn't getting no damn buckets.
But you wore that blue and
Not
gray.
against us, but he was
Hey,
getting
Coach,
buckets.
and honestly, I blame you because you didn't recruit me when they started trading that changing that boundary stuff. I wanted to be a warrior. I slept in the same room as my brother. He was a warrior. I watched Joe Lowe grow up my whole life. He was a warrior. I wanted to be a warrior.
You're a warrior now.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah, you're a warrior now. That's all that
think,
matters.
hey, Buck, I think back then Coach Veldran only fit like 3 kids in his BMW. So when he picked up Travis Tall and them for camp, he couldn't pick you up.
Done.
He couldn't pick you up.
Oh man.
But how's Coach Bernhardt doing? I that's a face I'd like to see. How's he doing? You talk to him, Coach? Coach Tom, Coach V?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
stopped and visited him last summer for a couple of days out in Denver. He's doing great out there. Nice place in which he lives, and he's actually even playing a little pickleball now. So
Really?
he's doing well.
Oh man.
He was my algebra teacher, and I know I gave him fits. I know he had to come back and tell y'all this kid is not going to be eligible because this kid is not doing the work.
Hey,
They can say that about all of us, Chris.
hey, Coach. You
Except
remember
for
that?
Travis.
You remember that time that door bounced back and hit you in the arm, in the face? You broke
In
that chalk.
Fairfax.
sure. I do remember the putting my hand through the chalkboard.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
That was at Fairfax.
Yeah.
Only up by 18. Yeah.
Only up at 18.
Yeah.
You know, my theory was this coaching. If you're, this is going to sound crazy. If you're getting your butt whipped, talk to them. If you're up a lot, yell at them. In other words, don't let up now, goddammit. This game is over.
That's right.
But if we're getting embarrassed, which didn't happen that often, but if we're really getting outplayed, let's just talk about it and get back.
I didn't know that. Okay.
So, Coach Veldran, with that being said, I got on one of my questions here. Well, I'm jumping all around. That's perfect what you just said. Do you guys, and I know you haven't coached in a while, but you know how things have changed over the years. Do you think Bob Veldran's style could work with these today
Millennials?
You know, I'm coaching now. Coach Kenya's coaching, Buck's coaching, and the suit and tie thing. Listen, started off as a great idea. And then every day was a complaint. The kid didn't have no shoes. Kid didn't have this. And you just get to a point where you get so many parents calling and this and that. Do you think that the good old tough ways of Coach Veldran and made these guys who they are, do you think that could be happening in today's society?
Well, you know, sometimes you can't win. You know, I remember Joe Lowe telling me one time, a couple of years after he got out, I said, you know, pretty good year with you guys that year. And he looked at me and said, yeah, once you decided to stop being so nice to everybody and started yelling at us. So, but I believe that I would change. You wouldn't recognize me. I sit in the chair watching college basketball, watching him, watching, lots of college basketball. And now my belief is once you know that player is in with you in what you're doing and he believes, okay, then I think everything from that point on should be positive and building him up. No more yelling. No more. Build the kid up. As long as you know he's with the program. Now with Chris, I probably wouldn't do that.
I needed that though, Coach. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I left high school. I went straight to Paris Island, and I went from my mom was strict. I had a strict basketball coach, and I didn't grow up with a father, And then it was a culture shock. I got down to Paris Island, South Carolina. I got a bunch of grown men yelling in my face. I'm like, I'll fuck you up. You say something to me, big boy. You know what I mean? And they meant it. You know what I mean? So for me, it was, and Tony, just to go back on your question was, I heard what you said when parents are calling you. Joyce Chandler never called Bob Veldran. You either deal with the man, sit your ass down somewhere and shut up. Yeah. So parents getting, living vicariously through their children, and you want to call the coach. I wish a parent would call me. That's just why I can't coach now. Right. I mean, we can call and, you can ask me how your kid is doing. But once you call me and ask me about, is he going to school? What are you doing for his college? Listen, I don't get your son in college. Your son gets himself in college. You know what I mean? So I saw that at West Springfield too. Coach Renner went through a lot of that because every parent swore that their kid was the next Joe Namath or Tony Dorsett, but I don't know. I think coach's style could work. I think every kid needs discipline, and I think every kid needs to be handled differently. You know what I mean? But I think discipline is something that a lot of teams and organizations they're lacking that structure now, and sometimes you can see it fall over into the court, man. So I do believe coaches' way of strict training and discipline and getting in your face and jacking your ass up.
I think what's different.
It can work.
Yeah, I think what's different this day and age is that as coaches, you have to be able to speak the truth to the kids. Okay. And from your best player to your worst player, if you can't coach your best player and tell him the truth when he's not going hard, or if you can't discipline him the right way, then you're going to lose respect for your team. So I think it's all about telling the truth and them respecting that. And so that's I think the change in the kids as far as how coach coached us. It was, he got in our face. He told us what to do. We did it. I think we just believed in him that whatever he said was gold. I think this group of millennials, this day and age, they're going to question why, and so you got to have the knowledge of the game, and then telling them the truth, I think helps those kids to understand. And if they don't buy into that, then that's when you got a bad apple and you just got to get rid of it. So I think that's what the change is.
I don't know if Kenyon remembers this. I almost lost him one night. I think it was at Fairfax. And we came in after halftime. I don't know if he threw a ball behind his back. It's usually not. But he did do something that pissed me off. And he was only a sophomore. I got in his stuff. And he was ready to go. I could tell. And Sidney calmed him down and said, just listen and shut your mouth. Don't say anything. And we made it through it.
Yeah.
We made it through it. But
I remember that.
I don't understand. Where do we veer off so much? I don't understand that. I don't remember. Like I said, I had a little locker room thing with Coach. You know what I mean? Doing it before that WNL game. But when did players veer off so much where you are there's no fear in you at all to stand to a grown ass man and tell this grown ass man what you are and ain't gonna do and what he is and what he's not.
I mean,
you know what I mean? So
I think it starts at home.
Tony can,
at the house.
Absolutely, absolutely.
You know, and so when there's no structure at the house, and then who are we? Just the coach. They don't respect us as a coach because there's not much respect at home. So it really starts at home. So for all that Coach Veldran has done for you guys also had it the night before at home.
Right.
So, and then Coach Veldran already had his reputation of being a strong coach, a good coach, and so I get you guys bought into it. And now these kids now, and Kenya can tell you this probably better than I can, if something goes wrong now, everybody wants to transfer now.
Mm-hmm.
And in the 18 years that Buck and I have been at Wakefield, we've had kids transfer out because they saw the writing on the wall. We have our favorites. So it's not we don't have our favorites. We have kids who want to conform to what the program and what the system is going to do. And if you can't do it, then they transfer out or whatever. So, I mean, I that's me personally, Chris, is what I think, what I've seen over the years is that, and Buck can probably speak to this as well too. It's not so much the kid as it is the parent.
Lord have mercy.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I don't Buck. You
might it's not the kid at all, man. It's never the kid. It's always the parent.
Like somebody else they listening to.
It's the parent at home saying, "What? I didn't have this, so you're not gonna go through this."
Yeah.
He's not gonna be able to tell you no. Whatever the rule is, you can put out a rule. Go do a square, and they're gonna walk a circle. You can tell them to do a circle, and they're gonna give you a square. So if you want a square, tell them a circle.
Well, Travis, okay, so let me ask you a question, Travis. So Kenya and Tony, what you're coaching right now, if you had a kid that was averaging 35 points a game, 40 points a game, and he came up there and just cussed you all the way out, do you dismiss him? Or do you look over like, okay, I'll be all them FUs today, but I need you to go drop this 40? I mean, keep it 100.
Me personally, I would lose the other 14 guys on the team. He's got to go. Because at the end of the day, our job is to, build that. Each season is a season.
Word.
That's that kid's season. Like I told you guys before, we say the common denominator of Wakefield basketball is Bentley and Willis. I'm going to be here, and I keep telling the kids I'll probably coach your son. I'm not going anywhere.
Come on, say something, boy.
Figure it out. 40 points a game, you got to go. It is what it is. No one player is bigger than the assistant. The Kenya's probably different because
are you winning or losing?
I was gonna say, who is winning next? I mean,
right. Are you winning or losing?
Say something, Kenya.
You also, you're able to have that kind of confrontation depending on the kids that you have. I think when you don't deal with it, that's the biggest thing, if you're able, you're not going to get a golden child, you know what I'm saying? Like your alpha male best player is going to have some back talk at times, but it's how you talk to him, the relationship you have with him that means the most. If you have a relationship where he respects you, but hey, he gets upset when certain things you're asking him to do, it happens. But at the end of the day, I just think that now if he's affecting the whole team, then that's the issue. Then he has to go. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're losing. Because any player can score 30 and lose, But the good players that can score 30 and you got a good team and you're winning, that makes a difference.
That's 100. Okay. Yeah. I mean, what's his name? Coach Jimmy Johnson said it best. He said he would throw he'll cut somebody off the team in a minute, send him packing if he fell asleep in his meeting, in the team meetings. And they asked him, what about Troy Aikman? He said he would go over to Troy, whisper in his ear. Hey, just wake up, Troy. You're missing something that you really need to see. That's 100. You know what I mean?
Before he got rid of him.
Yeah.
Or tell one of the assistants, hey, wake Troy up.
Yeah. Go ahead, Travis.
Do y'all break down the game footage? Like, I know that was some of the best times at Wakefield to watch the game footage the next day, like what we did good and, to show us, be detailed on how it looks on tape. Do y'all still do that to this day?
So let me explain to you, when you have an assistant coach like Buck, now I can tell you right now, y'all know Buck. So Buck and Coach Tom, two different people. So when the film, we're in film, we got the film up on the screen and we're going through everything, but we have huddle now. So you can actually break the film down and stop it, freeze it right on the film as the kids are watching. So Buck's job is at while he's at work sometimes or whatever, the night before, he breaks the film down and it's already ready for when we go into the film. Now, you know, Buck, he works for WNL, so we start the film before Buck gets over there. And it is marked up on every little thing, from the guys on the bench that didn't stand up when we got a layup or whatever for clapping. So you see every single thing. So the guys, when they come to film, they don't want to be embarrassed because Buck circles.
Absolutely.
I respect that.
On every single thing that they do. I don't even see it till I get to the film room. But some of it is hilarious, and the kids don't be joked. So now they start to know that the eye in the sky don't lie.
Come on. So, Buck, you need a raise. You are not being paid enough because I had him a notebook, piece of paper. Hey, man, he ain't do such and such. Keep it moving.
Between me and Chris, I'm the lowest paid coach on staff, my man.
Listen, I'm going to serve Tony some paperwork the same time I send Coach Veldran that paperwork for that abuse. So I send it all in the same mail at the same time. A pay raise for you and subpoena Coach Veldran for malicious wounding and assault. And Coach Tom will be a witness because where was your antenna when your man was beating on me at the WNL game? Ain't said nothing. Let's speak on that, Coach Tom.
Hey, Chris, man, you got 18 points out of that deal, man.
I did.
Coach Tom wasn't in the locker room.
Charges dismissed.
Where was Coach Tom at?
Coach Tom wasn't in the locker room. I'm just defending him. He wasn't in the locker room.
He wasn't there?
He was coaching the JV game.
Oh, yeah. Right.
You remember they were playing
Probably
JV?
against Coach Bentley.
Yeah. No. I was a player back then.
Yeah, he was, He just looked that old.
Yeah.
I know this has nothing to do with the 90s show, but I got to ask Coach Tom real quick because he was talking about JV. You had a kid on there named Diedrich Gilbert that you coached for 3 years.
What was his name?
I was coaching Diedrich for 3 years.
Oh, Diedrich. I only had him for 2. You guys.
Oh, 2. Okay, I keep being confused.
Hold on.
I know Tony threatened to put him there for the 3rd year. I was gone at that point.
You guys don't understand. Coach Veldran, I'm going to tell the story real quick, Coach Veldran, and Diedrich Gilbert just had to be mad. That year when I came over, you were still working at Wakefield. And the last thing you told me, I said, Coach Veldran, I need some help. You said, nope, you got this, but I only asked you to do one thing. I said, what's that? He said, keep Diedrich Gilbert on JV.
That would have been 3 years in a row.
Coach Veldran, let me get this out real quick because I got a text message. I got a text message real quick. It says, ask Coach Veldran.
Here we go.
Was it true that he said, I will never have 2 Gilreaths on one team?
First of all,
he choked up.
I gotta watch what I said.
Here we go. Come on, Coach.
Stefan Gilreath, whatever. That he was a nice kid. Was he? I didn't coach him.
No, we're talking about Nick Gilreath and Dietrich Gilreath.
Diedrich was the good kid. He played for you.
He did.
Yeah.
He did.
And he was also a coach on the staff, right?
Yes.
Okay.
He couldn't play though, Coach.
He's probably a good kid. Nick? Nick? No.
That's all we're going to say about that.
He gets thrown out of the game.
Nick? No.
He gets thrown out of the game at Yorktown. Comes back out, buys a couple hot dogs, and I see him sitting at the end of the bench eating hot dogs. No.
You gotta go.
Hey, you got the older guys. Nick Gilreath was one of the best athletes that probably ever come through Wakefield. He was a hell of an athlete.
He could jump. Oh my God.
Man. Yeah.
But what about the youngest?
Now the youngest, Corey Moore.
Corey Moore?
Corey. He put us back on the map. We had a couple down years from 2007 all the way to 13, and then Corey Moore came in and just took it to a whole nother level. So what he got was his older brother Nick's athleticism, and then he got Dietrich's smart, and he was one, put it all together. And then, he went off to Division III, became a D3 All-American, scored over 2,000 points in his career at Virginia West. He was the real deal. I mean,
You're telling me.
Playing over in China, he was a real deal. Real deal.
Did we go to school with Corey's mother?
Sandra, no, she's older than you guys. Sandra graduated in 82.
Yeah, I actually coached her on that girls' JV basketball team.
Coach Tom Booster, yes. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I see the connection why you kept Dietrich 2 years, Coach.
It was in the right place.
Hey, so Coach Veldran, let me ask you this, because a lot of it's kind of similar. You coached at Wakefield for so long. What was like the connections? Because it's a family atmosphere in South Arlington, and like we're just talking about the Gilreath family. There were so many families that you were able to coach, probably, where you coached somebody in the 70s and then coached them in the 80s or whatever it may be, their family members. How was that coaching in a small community with everybody knowing everybody?
It was good. That's where I came up with the phrase, Friday night at the wake. In other words, that was a big thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a big thing for not only the neighborhood, but also for the players. And that you could have a knucklehead who cut class all the time and was shaky passing 4 subjects or whatever, but you could not take away from him.
Yeah.
That was the time to shine. And it was special. It was also special to me because I said, listen, the Washington Post is covering this game tonight, and I'll be goddamn if we're going to lose and I got to read a headline that says Warriors get beat. That ain't happening tonight.
Love it.
Not tonight.
That's something you guys don't have to worry about, can you? Or
no.
Not tonight, baby.
Fucking
Not
Tony.
Yeah.
The Post doesn't cover high school sports anymore.
They really don't anymore.
No.
We relied a lot on our local newspaper with the Sun.
That's a shame. That's a real shame.
Yeah. Well, Coach Veldran, the private schools, man. If you're not one of the private school kids or one of those private schools, man, you're an afterthought. You look at the Post rankings now, you might see a public school in there after 12.
Yeah.
They don't care about it anymore.
You get maybe 5 public schools out of 25 in the Post top 25.
Yep.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I had 2 kids left our junior highs to go to O'Connell, and they were asking me all the time, why are you going to let him leave? Well, what are you going to do about it?
Right.
Aren't you going to recruit him? I said, I'm not going to recruit a ninth grader to come to play for me. He's supposed to be here.
Right.
Okay. And you know who those 2 players were?
Who?
Tay.
Who?
You guys know Tay, don't you?
Johnson.
Oh, Delonte Cameron.
And the other one was nice kid, played in the pros.
Jerome Cox.
And so they both turned out to be football players anyway.
Yep. Yep.
Jerome Cox.
Yep.
How about that?
Man, that's a name.
Good.
Hey, Coach, why did you lock the front door on us? Make us come through the back. Travis wants to know that one. It was like a rule. You come in, you can't come in the front door. You always had to come through the back, up the steps.
Mm-hmm.
You would lock the doors, wouldn't you?
Because you guys all would be sneaking in the front, and you would be dressed like your pocket.
Well, Coach, I know we didn't have email back then, but why did you have to post the final cuts on the door? I mean, you couldn't call us into the room and say, hey, you made it, you didn't make it.
Yeah, but I put my back door, didn't I?
Yeah.
You did. On the back steps. You did.
Hey, that was the way it was done back then, Chris. It's everywhere it was like that.
Right.
Nowadays, you have to tell each and every individual kid why they didn't make the team.
Yeah.
So they can explain to their parents who can then.
Oh, hell no.
It's different, Chris. It's different. It's different.
Your son didn't make it because he sucks. There's your letter. Keep it moving.
The truth hurts sometimes. Huh?
Hey, it's a new day, Chris. It's a new day.
New day.
Hey, man.
I respect y'all, man. I do. Kenya, Tony, but I respect that. I just don't have the temperament. I ain't going through all that.
Were there 3-day mandatory tryouts, or you can make your cuts after day 1, day 2? How was that? Do you remember?
The week. We used to not have that many kids come out.
Because they knew.
Right.
And
it was always on me, though, because I'd go first game with 25 guys on the roster, and then I'd try to make my cuts. Get rid of them.
Coach Tom had to deal with that.
It's true about parents, though.
Yeah.
Parents, they're a tough nut, baby. They really are.
There's one thing I changed.
I had a meeting my last year at Wakefield, and it was set up. I was going to be just crushed. Two mothers came in to talk to me. Okay. They were on your first team. And check this out. One of the questions they asked me was, Coach, how do you feel about hair? Okay. Hair.
Hair.
At that time, I didn't give a shit about hair. Period. Right?
Is that why I didn't start, Coach? I didn't have any hair.
One mother had dreadlocks down forever, and the other mother was bald. So I'm saying, oh, I can't win this one. I did stay honest to myself. I said, I think that hair is not that important.
Good times, good times. You guys got any things that you want to ask Coach about his stickler rules?
I got a question for Coach. Okay, now you coached a lot of good guys back in the day. If you could only choose one of these guys, I'm going to name to go to war with you. Only one. Okay, I want to hear your top guy and why.
And not on just this panel. We're talking about from 7.
No. I'm giving them 4 names. Okay?
Oh, you give them names.
I'm gonna give them 4 names.
Okay.
I'm gonna start off with Travis Spencer, Kenya Hunter, Kenny Staten, and Joe Lowe. You can only choose one. Who you going to war with?
Kenny had attitude, man. Kenny was a monster.
Now, wait. The question is, who you going to war with?
Oh, yeah. You can only take one.
When you say war fisticuffs,
I don't care where he goes with. He's going to be his right-handed man.
You ain't taking Travis Spencer nowhere with no fisticuffs. Okay, so X out Travis Spencer.
Hey, but Travis was a walking double-double. Then you got to remember.
Absolutely. But Travis Spencer's playing style. I mean, come on, man. It was nasty, man.
You had the general and Kenya Hunter. You had the walking double-double. You had Kenny Staten. Woo! And then you had the ultimate Joe Lowe. So I just want to hear Coach's point of view on which guy he would take.
Hey, Buck, that's a tough question to ask.
It is a tough question.
Coach, stay away from that, Coach.
That's why I'm not asking Kenya, Chris, Travis. I'm asking Coach B.
I got to hear this one. That's 4 right there, man.
Hey, he going to do what Bruce Hanson did last week, but.
But, hey, I don't even think you should answer that one, Coach.
That's a good. No, hell no. We ain't let him off the hook. Answer the question, Coach.
I can comment on Staten a little bit. Staten was incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible. What he did to the record books, he played like a year and a half, maybe. And he had like 980 points.
Damn.
Stupid fool could have 1 billion points. He had 50 in one game, 11 pointers, 11. But you didn't know what was going to happen with that boy. He still calls me.
Yeah.
That's good.
Living in Minnesota now, doing good.
I'm going to the NBA next year. Chris, you're 42 years old. I mean, Kenny, you're 42 years old. You're not going anywhere. Now, I just wanted you to let you know that year he was unreal. But that other part, I can't answer that. But I will say this: Joe Lowe, I nicknamed him the silent assassin.
And he showed the quality.
That's your ass up.
Yeah.
Don, you remember you telling me during the beginning of that sophomore year with Joe Lowe, he's about the best underclassmen we have is down in my gym, not yours.
Oh yeah, we went over to St. John's to play them in a JV game either freshman or JV game. I don't recall which it was now. And we go into that gym, all those banners around over there, and those names of players that had gone through there. Yep. And we're getting our ass kicked in the first half. We're down 25 points. And Joe Lowe took it upon his shoulders, and he must have scored 30 points in the second half and got us back in the game. We lost by 2 at the end. And so that's what I knew. And I still remember Joe Lowe on the duck move, man. He just killed guys on the duck.
The duck move. Rayfield boy, the duck move.
Boy. Watch out. Here comes Joe Lowe with a duck move.
Yeah.
I caught my first pass from Joe Lowe.
Bucket every time, man.
Joe Lowe was the quarterback. And even though I was big, I could run a little bit. And I remember, can you remember Travis, y'all remember Steak versus Franks and Beans? Remember that? That scrimmage, the inter squad scrimmage? Joe Lowe threw me that first pass. I could hear that thing coming. But I caught that ball and ran for my life. You had Smurf and Chris McPhail, and everybody chasing you. But he was such a damn good athlete, man.
Yeah. He was.
Joe Lowe was a damn good athlete, man. A lot of athletes came through Arlington, man, that just didn't really get that shine. I want to throw a name out there, Jimmy Brown from Yorktown. This kid blocked my shot, man, one time, and I swear I looked up and saw the bottom of his goddamn feet. Jimmy could jump out the jam. Travis, remember we went against Jimmy when he was at Swanson at the high jump, and we would go across the gym, try to jump over that bar, and he would walk up to the bar and just jump over the damn thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
don't think Jimmy Brown, man, but that was another athlete, man, that just in Arlington, man, that really didn't get no shine, man. I mean, the kid was like that, man.
Coach, what about your grit teams? You know, I work at Wakefield, and I work with Alan Glasscock every day, a 6'1" center. And you know, a lot of people don't remember what Alan did for Wakefield basketball. You know, he coached these guys their freshman year. But as far as a player for you, Glasscock, you know, that name sticks out to me when he was your center on your teams, or at least your enforcer at 6'1", 2.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, he also brought the ball up. He inbounded the ball and brought it up the floor, too.
He threw it to himself? God damn.
Yeah.
You're going to do that.
Remember him playing out against, I think it was against Hayfield in the regional out at Robinson that one time, man.
Sophomore.
Great.
Sophomore.
Yeah.
Hey, Coach, didn't we play against who was it? Robinson? Was that our sophomore year, Travis? We played Hubert Davis and them.
Oh, yeah, that was sophomore.
He gave y'all the business.
Big Braddock?
Yes, and I was at that game. Hey, Buck, Tony. Hubert Davis gave Travis and Kenya every bit of 42 points.
See, why I have to go
hey, man, hey.
I wasn't even playing that much myself.
No, yeah, you were. Listen, you played this game, goddamn it. Hey, Tony.
Man had 50 points, Chris.
Huh?
No.
Man had 50 points, Chris.
How many points?
He had 50-plus points.
He walked across half it. He walked across center court and would just shoot it. And it was all net, Tony. I said, this kid is going to be nice.
I didn't want to bring this up, but since we're talking about that game, I don't know.
That was you. They got torched.
You're right.
Hold on. Remember this game? Remember Smoke, Damon? You remember Damon, Coach?
Yeah, Damon.
Hey, look,
Damon Harris.
Yeah.
Smoke was the thoroughest guy in Green Valley's history of dunking or playing basketball. But once you put him in between the lines and blew that whistle, he ain't know where he was.
Who's that?
Damon
Harris.
At halftime, he kept on going. Never came back.
Coach, remember, that's exactly what I'm getting to.
But, hey, I got to tell you, in that game, one of the few players I wasn't sure I really liked. Okay, and I like every player I ever coached, but two. JJ what was his name?
J.J. Russell.
Yeah, from
J.J.
John Cena, J.J.
Yeah.
J.J.
Wore
Russell.
42, I think.
No, anyway, when we were in the huddle to go out the door, he said, "I want Yuba Davis."
Mm-hmm.
He wants Yuba Davis. He said, "I want Yuba Davis." He said, "Because this is what I've waited for my whole life." And I said, "JJ, you got him." Okay. At the end of the game, we're walking off the floor, and the public address announcer says, "And Yuba Davis has just broken the Fieldhouse record for 42 points in one game."
Yes.
Yeah.
That kid can play, man.
He torched us that game.
Yeah.
That was the only guy that I saw that was like, man, this dude is special. Well,
He became a New York
we
Knick.
all know he
I
was
was really
special
happy.
from what he played.
That was hilarious. That halftime was, he said Damon kept going. That was hilarious. He said, "Hey, what are you doing against him?" Damon got his bag and kept going. "You get to just keep going." Man, that was, I never seen him play at halftime. That's how bad Hubert Davis was giving us the business.
He left?
No,
Yes.
Damian left the
That's
game.
what I mean.
Yeah.
Spoke left at halftime.
You're right about the way you described him. Once he stepped over the line onto the court,
Mm-hmm.
he had no idea.
Hubert Davis had so much range, man.
Play a
Between
TJ
Hubert
Carter.
Davis
Oh my goodness.
and that guy from South Lakes, Rob Robinson.
Robinson.
Those were the two, like Buck said the last time. He said he was fearful of Rayfield, where it was always Hubert Davis and Rob Robinson.
Yeah, he graduated right before us. Yeah.
Yeah, he played at South Lakes with Grant Hill and them. I mean,
Yeah.
he was the reason. He was the full-time and all that. Then when he left, I was like, oh, we got a chance now, fellas.
Yeah, Rob can play, man.
Yeah, Rob was giving you that big work. That 6, whatever he was, 8, 9, solid 8, 6, 9.
That was Rob.
That was good.
Yeah.
So yeah, Buck, you have anything, Buck?
No, man, I'm just enjoying hear Coach V speak, man. You know, like I said,
Yes.
I've always respected that guy. I remember one time we loaded up the 16-passenger van, and we were going up to see Kenya play.
Hey, listen.
Okay.
We were talking about that.
Right, because Bob Dudley was like, "You fighting horse? Shit, get him on in the van, bring him on."
We had some great times at Duquesne University.
Yeah.
None that will go on this show.
And St. Joseph.
I'm just impressed with Coach's memory.
Hey.
You remember a whole lot. I just thought we had to like snap to you, get your handler, come, feed you something. I'm just impressed with your memory, Coach. I'm just, you and Coach Time, between y'all's 2 set of glasses, I know them Jones is thick as shit. I love y'all, Coach. I really. I've been waiting for this, man. I've been waiting to see y'all. There. I ain't seen you, and I haven't seen y'all in over, man, 25, 26 years. So it's good seeing you.
It's been a long time, man.
You guys again. I've seen Travis recently.
Kenya,
I see you on TV all the time.
Who, Travis?
No, Kenya. He's on TV a lot.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I be bragging on Kenya. I know him, especially when he's at Georgetown.
Whatever, man. Come on.
See, I'm trying to get this. No, fuck it. Never mind. I'm going to give you some props.
So, hey, Chris, can you clear up the rumor that there was a direct pipeline through Kenya to Veldran?
There ain't no damn rumor. That was a damn truth, man. Listen, man. Hey, everything went through Kenya. Pissed Kenya off, Coach got on you. You know what I mean? Kenya got mad, and you didn't do what like I said. I was his Cartwright, man. You know what I mean? I remember a lot of those daggone huddles. You know what I mean? But it was what it was. I don't know if he was necessarily his favorite, but it was like an RG3 Dan Snyder relationship. Like Christmases and luncheons together, you know. If I can go back, man, relive one of those days, man. We had some. I mean, it was just some good damn times, man. Real good times, man. And I miss it. You know,
miss it, man.
I still remember Williamsburg when we lost that semifinal game. How many tears were shed that night, man?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Lots of tears.
Coach, I felt your pain, Coach, when you called me, Travis, Kenyon Rayfield to the room. And we talked about it on the last interview, man. And Travis Toll had said how hurt you was through that game. Because I felt that you took a lot of shit after we lost that state tournament game. You know what I mean? And I had told in the last interview that how many people were coming to me like, coach this, coach that. I'm like, hey, man, listen. You know, we went out there, we played our asses off.
Yep.
And Travis Spencer said something. We really prepared for South Lakes. We really did. And I'm not saying we went in with big heads, but after we beat Grant Hill, and then we all felt a sense of confidence. We didn't think we were going to walk through, but we thought we would really come together. So I really felt that you took a lot of unjust heat after that loss. You know what I mean, Coach? I don't think that was fair at all from a lot of people, man. And a lot of people probably watch this interview, maybe think I'm full of shit, but you know, I think we played our best game. We did what we could. If we go back now, we probably played the game the same way we played it, man. We went in, we ran the hell out them boys for 3 quarters, man. And we came back. You know, even when they took in overtime, they came back, man. We were right there. We only, what we lose by 2?
1.
1? Anyway, I think, you know, I think you took some unjust heat. And I think it was a great season, man. And I still talk about it to this day. My kids didn't watch me. They watched me watch our last 2 episodes. I probably watched it. Your views don't count, Tony, because I viewed it maybe about 30 times each. So calculate that stuff, man. I watched about 30 times.
That's because you funny as hell.
Yeah.
Huh?
That's because you funny as hell, boy.
I tell you, we've been getting all kinds of text messages about when is Chris Chandler going to have his own show? Or when is going to have Chris Chandler on it by himself? All kinds of stuff, man.
Well, when you can laugh at yourself, man, it's easy, man. A lot of the shit we talk about, I'm laughing at myself, you know what I mean? Because I knew what it was. You know, I knew who the leaders were. I mean, get the ball to the 3 amigos. You got it to Kenyon, Travis Spencer, Rayfield. Listen, I played with some of the best teammates in the world. I don't care what you say. Not a lot of teams got a triple threat.
Right.
But I had a triple threat. You hear me? I had a triple threat, man, and it was some good times, man. And I had a coach that broke chalkboards and hit him in the face and all types of shit, you know. So it worked out good.
Coach V, and let me ask you this question, Coach. And this is from coaches. And I look back at it as I don't think I would have did anything different in the 90 if I'm up 15, 13, or whatever in the 4th quarter. Now that you look back on it, would you think you've done anything different?
We tried to do both things. We tried to stay in the offense, or, Louisville.
Yeah.
Went a little to the passing game, which is freelance. And we tried to hold the ball. And you guys mentioned, and that was true, that Travis and Kenya,
Right.
all through the tournament, was knocking down free throws like nothing.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, they missed a couple.
Mm-hmm. I said that last time.
At the press conference afterwards, their coach, nice guy, and he didn't mean anything by it, said, I thought what helped us was I thought Hunter got tired. And I had 2 things, immediate reaction was, number one, he was in a whirlpool all day that day.
Sprained my ankle.
And that just stops all the energy you have out of you.
Mm-hmm.
And I say that because Kenya Hunter had never been tired in his life.
Absolutely.
So, I don't know. But we tried everything. I was just looking for a bucket. We tried the off forward with Travis and Kenya. Nothing.
Right.
I didn't know we were a team. I did not know that. I'm embarrassed to say that. We were up 13 going the 4th quarter.
There's no shot clock. I'm with you, Coach. I mean, I'm with you. I mean, thinking as a coach, I'm thinking I don't need a quick shot. Hell, if I can get 3 minutes off the clock, I will fight for you all this time to say you still made the right decision as a coach.
Yeah.
Some people might not agree with it. It's on them.
And back in the day, you remember how Dean Smith and them Carolina, they would bring it out, make you guard them, and put the ball in our hands. And like he said, I told you guys last time, it was like, normally I would make those one. I missed 2 front ends and 1-on-1s, you know, and you know that in a crucial part of the game that you can't have that. You try to put the ball in your best player's hands, and I think that's what Coach did. And like Chris said, I don't think there's anything that we would have changed. Right. You know, that's just the way we played back in the day. You know, and so no, I don't look at it, you know, as we should have did something different. I look at it as that if we would have done what we needed to and make the plays when they counted, we would have came out with the win. Simple as that. So it doesn't take away. I always say, I said this last time, it doesn't take away the season, man. Like Chris said, we had some great times. And to be quite honest, that regional tournament to me was the bigger game, just because we've been trying to play Grant Hill and South Lakes, you know, since we were freshmen, and it never happened until our senior year, you know, playing them besides Summer League, right? We played them in Summer League, but we never played them regular season or in the tournament. And that was the only time we met them was our senior year, and we were able to beat them.
Travis Ash.
Yep.
One that counted.
Yeah.
The one that counted for us, you know.
Hey, Coach, I wanted to tell you, thank you for sticking up for me, for fighting for me to have that all-region picture taken, because you and I know what we had to go through to get that all-region picture taken for my senior year. So I always wanted to tell you thank you for fighting for me to make sure that I get recognized for an all-regional player. So I wanted to thank you for that, Coach.
3 years in a row.
Hey, Kenny, do y'all have that picture when y'all was holding y'all hands were extended with the basketball? Because y'all took 2, right? Didn't y'all take 2 pictures? Travis, y'all were up front. You had your hands extended.
No, that was the Joe Lowe picture that you're talking about with the hands extended.
I'm sorry. You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right.
And Nas was with Grant.
You know,
you're right.
When they called me to tell me who made all region, they said, hey, listen, we're taking pictures on Thursday, say, and we want your players out there. And I said, okay, I'll send all 3 of them out, right? And they said, no, 2. I said, 2? No, 3. Got to be 3. And I said, you gonna tell me Red Boy's not on that team? You're crazy.
That is true.
Yeah, Coach, I stamped that, Coach.
Yeah.
I'm not taking nothing away from Ira Winston. I'm not taking nothing from Ira and Hayfield.
Rayfield
Boyd should have been on that team.
Right.
Yeah.
Rayfield
to me, Rayfield was such a damn good player. I mean, I made honorable mention to the honorable mention. And they actually stated that shit. I was like, y'all, that's actually a stat. Honorable mention to the honorable mention. But I was on it. Second.
Hey, but we did find out today that you were the most valuable player on that 90s team.
I didn't take it, but
hey, you didn't actually get the award in the cafeteria, but we found out today that you were the most valuable player.
Chris, you know, I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna hang a jersey in the gym for you for that game.
You hang it? Whoa!
Hey,
oh my God! I'll call my whole family. Don't play with me, Tony. You hang my jersey, and it's gonna be about 1,000 challengers in that building. You hear me? I dare you. I dare you. I want everybody there too. Everybody better show up.
Oh God.
You know, when I was talking to Grant at the pictures, and he was by himself, and we were talking, and I said, you know, I gave him all the right stuff, you know, and I said, you know, I'm hoping that we'll meet in the state championship. And he said to me, oh, I don't. And I said, what? He goes, nah, I don't want to play you guys again. He says, you got a real team. He said, we're not a real team. Yeah. I said, well, that's nice of you to say that.
Wow. Great. Big words.
He said,
that's how I know what a real team.
He said, what, Coach?
I said, playing for Coach.
No, you'll kick our ass again.
Oh. What'd you say, Chad?
No, I said, playing for Coach let me know what a real team was, man. You know, what it takes to make a real team. You know, the details and just being disciplined on every little aspect, from your V-cuts to your tick drill. People don't even know that when you're dribbling up court, that you can play defense. And the tick drill, we had to dive for the tick drill. Like if somebody's dribbling, they'd be like, tick drill, and then we had to dive. Oh,
Dean Fisher,
Chris, and then I would get up and run, and then Chris was the assistant, and he'd throw the ball, and that was his assist. So little things like that, people don't know that you can play defense while retreating back to defense. So that tick drill was very important. I mean, people was like, that picture, if you got a picture of Charlie Garner with Kenya playing, he's looking behind him while Kenya's in front of him, because he knew that somebody was coming behind trying to tick that ball. So we never ran past an offensive player without trying to tick that ball. It was always the tick drill, from the tick drill to the outlet to getting the ball out the basket to four corners, Boston Celtics drill to move the ball up. I mean, it was just unbelievable. So going through those practices and games and having the tough-nosed coach, when I went somewhere else, I was like, wow, man, they got a lot of learning to do. So they looked at me like, yo, man, won't you lead some of the drills that you talk about with your coach? So I became like a player coach on the next level. So real homage to the Warrior Wakefield way, man. So I really appreciate that. And I know Kenya taking it over there with UConn. I know he done took it everywhere he went, a little bit of that. They were looking at Kenya like, oh, man, you're a genius. And he's like, shit, I got that from Coach V.
That Coach V drills, man, you never forget those drills. Never forget those. Good practices, hard practices back in the day.
Man. Sometimes the practices were better than the games, man.
Oh, man, we
definitely harder. We definitely had some strawberries on our hips.
Yeah. I remember that one time Kenyon called me out my name during practice.
Come on, Chris, here we go.
You did, Kenyon. You called me a bitch. And I took it and I ran with it.
Chris, man, now you lying. Now you lying.
Kenyon, I'm going to call you later. I'm gonna jog your memory. You called me out my name.
I never did that. Coach, you remember anything like that?
No.
No.
Of course you don't, Coach. It's Kenya. Listen. You know what I mean? Of course you don't. I know Coach Tom remember. Coach Tom?
MVP.
Hold on, Coach Tom. Coach Tom, you coached Travis Toll and Rayfield and Chris on the JV squad, right?
Right.
Sophomore year.
Yep.
So tell us a little bit about that, as far as who was the guy, Travis, Chris, and Rayfield on that team.
Well, Chris was only there for half the year, so I didn't get to see.
We heard you the first time you said it, Coach. Okay, re-emphasize. Go ahead.
We still won the districts, though, right? I mean, we still won.
We still won it. We beat. Was it Chantilly? We beat in the finals of the tournament too, with you and Rayfield. Yeah. You didn't have much backup. It was basically the two of you. That was the extent of it. I don't think anybody else even made the varsity the next year, other than you and of course Chris, but he only played the same half year. But
again, third time.
Good time.
Yeah, listen.
What happened to Chris again, Coach?
Really?
I think he spent too much time in the cafeteria that year.
Yeah. Big heavy like to eat.
Yeah, he did. He definitely did. Hey, he was the first guy that ordered 2 pairs of fries. Let me get 2 fries. Come back with a tray full of French fries.
At least the one second semester he played was the one we needed him.
No, but
I remember him playing defense on the post against South Lakes, getting around that post player. He did a great job on that.
Oh,
we had a
man.
good time. And playing on
Very
JV with
important
Travis
link.
Toll and Rayfield, man, I mean, I had a good time. Listen, when we moved up, listen, I just knew, listen, Travis Toll was the man, Joe. And he had mad handles. And I remember a lot of people would just underestimate Travis. You know what I mean? They see this white kid, bald head, they're like, "Oh, we got him." I'm like, "Okay, all right. He gonna show y'all his ass tonight." Travis Toll can ball, man, and even my wife was like, "Is that Travis?" I said, "Yeah, he's cut. Shut up." But listen, I don't want to hear all that.
Thank you, Chris.
He was the
You
ball.
my man, Travis. You know that we go way back, man. And Coach, I don't know if you know this, Coach, but I was telling on the last interview, Coach, with Travis Toll and Kenya and Rayfield and Travis, I've known these guys over 40 years. So 40 years of playing ball with these guys, you know what I mean? I mean, just going to Wayfield, I thought to me it was an easy transition. When we got there, we were ready to play for y'all, man. And then playing with Alan Glasscock, who to me had so much swagger. You know what I mean? He was a great coach. And he prepared us for the next level, man. So I want to throw a shout out to Alan Glasscock, man. I don't know if I ever told you this, Alan, but I really appreciate your coaching style. And I'm friends with him on Facebook, and I see him from time to time. But he was a great coach. And I really didn't know I didn't know much about his playing when he played for you, Coach. But I from what I heard and from what I read, I mean, he was a tremendous player, you know. And he really was able to transfer that into coaching, and he really touched a lot of us, man. And good dude, real solid guy.
He didn't have to do that much.
Letters.
What's that, Coach?
Won 12 varsity letters.
Yeah, he's a three-sport athlete, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, he did it the hard way. He won 3 sports 4 times.
Really?
That's crazy.
He started as a freshman at quarterback on the football team.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay.
Glasscock.
I ain't started nothing as a freshman. Listen, I wanted to move up too. Cause why didn't you take me as a sophomore? Okay, listen, hey.
You ineligible. They already said it. What do you mean?
Yeah, man, you ineligible.
Like, come on, Chris. Like,
you stupid.
They're not.
What's 9 plus 10?
21.
You stupid. You stupid.
you just,
you know, Kenya.
I can't believe you just said that.
You know, after that comment, Kenya, I need to do a better job of vetting friends.
Come on, Chris.
Hey, Chris, don't worry. I'm going to send you my daughter's cash out, man. We're going to edit all this for you, big man.
Thank you, man. I love me some Brooke Bentley, man.
No, you got to leave that part right there.
Coach left me have a couple good players that year, and
yeah.
You know, Rayfield, Travis, you, and I don't even remember the rest of the guys, but
I don't know.
The varsity had a lot of good players that year too. So there wasn't as much room there as you might think for you to be.
Who was that? Maybe was Charles Oliver on the JV?
Charles came up.
No, Charles is behind us. Wasn't Travis Toll?
Yeah.
Charles came up for the last 2 games, and that was.
Oh, did he?
In the tournament at the end of the season, I brought him up and a couple of other guys up.
Yeah.
Sean Lewis was another one we brought up for that.
Sean Lewis.
Yeah, Sean came up.
Yep.
He played well. Sean Lewis. Sean
I
Lewis got in a little bit.
Basketball wasn't my first sport anyway, so. My defense. How about that? I ain't say eligible for that either, though.
Hey, you were the MVP, Chris.
Yeah.
Coach said that. He helped me out. He watched the last 2 videos and watched how y'all just dogged me out. So he had that prepared already.
You were very important to us, man.
But we had a good time.
We love you, Chris.
Kenya Hunter, did we have a good time, bro?
Yes.
We had a good time, didn't we, homie?
Very good time.
Yeah, man, for sure, man.
Coach,
we appreciate you.
We'll wrap up pretty soon, but Coach Veldran and Coach Tom, we just, of course, want to thank you guys. But what have you guys been doing, since your days at Wakefield? How's things going for you? Family, grandkids, or anything like that? What's been going on with you guys?
You smoking weed, Coach? Been doing a whole lot of coughing. I'm just asking.
Nah, I never got there.
That's the
They say
grandson
it's
right
good for
there.
you, Chris.
Coach
Uh,
Belgian got his
They say
grandson.
it's good for you.
yeah, you know what I mean?
It's Coach
That's his
Belgian.
grandson.
That's nice.
Yeah,
Is that
Oh,
Jake?
yeah.
Is it Jake's son?
Yep.
yeah, Jake.
Okay.
My man Jake.
Yeah, I always remember Jake on the tapes. He would always give his 5 cents worth. Come on, ref.
When Jake was little.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was on the
He was on
sideline.
tape. He was on every tape. When we was in game session, watching the tape, you can hear Jake. Oh, that's bullshit, ref. Come on, ref. Half the customer was from Jake.
No, that's
Jake?
yeah. If you could elaborate what you guys have been doing, anything?
I play a lot of pickleball all over the country. I've played in the nationals and keep my athletic genes going that way. I love the game. It's very competitive, and I just have a great time with it. I've almost quit playing tennis now because I've been playing so much pickleball.
So, Coach Tom, how
What the hell
long
is pickleball?
How long did your career last before you retired?
Wait a minute, no, Tony, don't skip past this. What the hell is pickleball?
You don't know what pickleball is?
No.
Fastest sport in the
You didn't
world.
play that in the hood, Tony. What's pickleball?
That's because you had 2 lunches, Tony.
Hey, you watch The Last Dance? Bill Wennington, he's a
Bill
pickleball
Wennington
player.
played pickleball.
Yes, he
Yeah.
does. Yes, he does.
Come on,
Pretty
man.
well, I understand. And with
Chris,
his
hey.
size, I can see why.
Chris, it's a tough sport, my man.
Yeah.
Great game.
Something like combat frisbee?
No, it's
No.
it's a life-size ping pong game.
Yeah.
What?
Or
What'd you say,
tennis,
Buck?
down tennis game.
Yeah.
Life-size ping pong game.
It's got a lot more weight behind it, so it can drive through your paddle pretty well.
You know, in my yearbook, there's a whole lot of pictures of Coach Tom in some short-ass, skinny-ass white shorts on that tennis team. It felt uncomfortable.
That style has changed, hasn't it, over the years?
No, it's back
Now we wear
there,
them down
Coach.
to our knees.
They wear them short again, Coach.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
I see what's coming back. I see that.
Let me get to this, man. Coach Tom, how long did you spend in Arlington County's public school system? How long did you work before you retired?
I taught for 37 years, but I still do senior projects, as you know.
Yes.
In fact, just did a couple this week. They're doing them on Google Hangouts this year.
37
So
years.
I've been 54 years, one way or another, with the school system. Taught for 37 and retired for 17. I continued to coach till another 6 years after I retired. I coached tennis and golf for another 6 years, and then I finally retired from all that in 2009. And just enjoying myself playing sports and enjoying my grandkids and having a great time.
Come on,
I've been
Coach.
visiting Bob every now and then when I'm going to Florida.
And,
That's big time.
and so much of how you guys were so alike coaching for all those years together, I think Coach Veldran did the opposite from you. Once he retired, he said, "To hell with y'all."
He was out.
No, we still keep in touch.
No, not that way. But Coach Veldran ain't coach after that, ain't stick around do no senior projects. Coach Veldran was gone.
Yeah, he was
Gone.
he left the whole area.
He said, "Gone."
Coach B.
That's what I was
Coach
trying
B.
to get at, Coach Veldran.
Hey, Coach Veldran.
Hey, man, Wakefield will burn you like that, man. You just like, man, I'm gone.
Coach Veldran, question for you.
I'm going to go see it.
You look at me, Travis, Kenya, Travis Tall, Rayfield's not here. You coached us in 90. I just received my papers in the mail. And I work for the railroad. And they tell me I'm eligible for retirement in 12 years. 12 years, Coach. So I'm thinking, is that putting everything in perspective how long this was ago, how long ago this was, that you have players now that's eligible for retirement in 12 years. I'm gone in 12. I understand. It ain't gonna be 61. It's not gonna be 62. I'm gone in 12. You hear me, Coach?
Yeah.
Yes.
You gonna be down South Carolina with Coach V?
Oh, I'm gone. Because they don't tax railroad retirement down south. I'm out. I'm out. Me and the family moving. We out of here.
Or we gonna get me, you, and Travis talking. We're gonna get the cigar spot.
Hey, Kenny, we talked last week, Kenny, when I
Travis
called you.
Tall, don't try to back out, man.
No, we're not backing out, big brother. We're
I'm ready.
gonna make this money.
Let Coach
That's
Veldran
it.
speak on that. Let Coach
Okay.
speak.
Well, that's why you guys also come down and visit me.
That's exactly right.
You know, when I get phone calls, I know I get, you know, Travis and more than a few players. It makes my day. I like that more than anything. Talk to Tony.
Yep.
And that's tremendous. But I still have yet to get any of you guys down here. I talked to Eric.
Eric
you know,
who?
Eric Rainey, right?
Yeah.
He's doing
He's
big
been
Down
down.
that way. North Carolina.
Yeah.
Sheriff Department.
You're all welcome. You're all welcome.
I'll let each guy kind of say something that they want to say, but before they do, I want to say something, and I know Buck remembers this. Coach Veldran, you've always been, you already know how I feel about you. When I took over, it was an honor, and I always wanted to continue what you had already started and to make you proud. And I remember, Coach Veldran, I hope you remember this. If not, it's two things that you really maybe inspired me was my second year there, we were struggling with Edison. I don't know if you remember this. And we lost to them twice in the conference, but we beat everybody else. We're 10-2. And I walked into your office and I said, Coach Veldran, man, we haven't beat Edison. We about to play them, and we got to beat these guys. And you looked at me and you right in my face and you said, Coach, all you got to do is beat them one time. And from that, just telling us that, I remember Buck and I went home. Buck took the first tape. I took the second tape. We broke it down, and we figured out a way, and we beat them that one time in the championship game. And the little things that I told Kenya the other day, we were talking, I said, Coach Veldran's probably forgot more stuff than we know. And he's been around that long, and any little thing that you can take from him means a lot. And I remember talking to you about one time I said, Coach Veldran, how many victories do you have at Wakefield? I'm a young coach. I just want to aspire to get where I know I got a long way to go. And I remember you looked at me and you said, I don't know none of that stuff. Then you waited a second. You said, I tell you what, go in the office and pull up one of those lockers. I wrote it down inside of one of the lockers. And before they tore that school down, I remember going in there, opening that locker and seeing you writing 443 inside of a locker. It was just 443 written inside of a locker. And I had an old phone. I took a picture of it. I don't have the picture anymore, but I remember that you wrote it down inside of those lockers inside the PE office. And like those little things have stuck with me. And I didn't get the opportunity to play for you, but I've talked to these guys all the time, and I know what it must have been like to play for you. And like I told the guys on the show the other time, I just hope 30 years from now that our former players are saying some of the things that these guys are saying about you. So, Coach Veldran, I appreciate everything you've ever done for Wakefield and for me and my coaching career. People don't understand that you're one of the first people that, we text back and forth about a win or a loss, that you still follow the basketball program. And so I always keep that in my mind, that I know you're watching. So I always got to stay on the right path, man. So thank you, Coach Veldran, for everything you've ever done for Wakefield. And I always tell, Buck knows this, I say it's been 30-something years or longer you coached there, but a couple of years you retired. And all we always try to do is keep your name relevant to people, the young kids that come along that know that there was a coach there named Coach Veldran who was there for 31 years, man. Love him or hate him, that man put his blood and sweat and tears into Wakefield basketball. And
yes, sir.
Me as a coach and Buck together, it's not a day that doesn't go by that we don't try to some way how to honor your legacy and the things you've done. And we're going to continue doing that until this is all over, till I retire. So, Coach Veldran, man, thank you so much. And Coach Tom, you already know you're the guy. The first thing when we got the job there, Buck, what all the guys said, Coach Tom was my favorite coach. You would never replace Coach Tom. They all said that about Coach Tom, was my favorite coach.
Right, sure.
Big deal of respect. And Coach Tom, it's always good to see you at the games. Buck and I look across, and you're sitting up top there with Coach Phillips and the rest of those guys.
Always up there.
Always up there, and always makes me, say, hey, you got to do better because Coach Tom is watching. So those little things that you guys might not think about mean a lot to these little guys that you coached against, and when we were kids, and now we're coaching, means a lot that we still look up to you guys and respect you guys.
Oh, thank you, Tony. And you guys do a great job. I enjoy watching your teams play. They play so hard. It's amazing.
Well, I will promise you, we don't teach the charge drill like y'all did. That's for sure. But
we learned that from Duke.
Charge drill like you guys.
Oh yeah.
I think the reason where I am today is because of Coach and what he instilled in me early on. And that was just to work hard. You know, a lot of times, you know, you try to figure things out as you go along. You don't know all the answers. But one thing that I do know is to work hard at whatever you're doing. And so in my career, you know, being an assistant coach for as long as I've been an assistant coach, you know, aspiring to be a head coach, but I've always, you know, have been able to call him, you know, every university that I've been at, you know, he's followed me, and we still talk to this day about our team, my team that I'm coaching and being a part of. And, you know, I just appreciate the relationship that we have to this day. You know, Coach knows that. His whole family means a lot to me. I still keep in touch. And so, but that's what you know, with Coach is like, we just love you, man. We love you. I think all of us on this panel here have learned a lot from you. But at the end of the day, it's just the love that we have for you. And that's why we're doing this, is because, you know, what you instilled in us back in the day. So that's me.
You know, I think we all go way back, well before Wakefield and Coach Veldran, but I think the thing that really brought all of us together, and even the reason we're here right now and what we're doing, is because of Coach Veldran and the experiences we had when we were playing with him. Because we can look back on high school, whether it be football or baseball, whatever it may be, you know, the thing that we share, this group here, all came under his tutelage. The things we learned, the effort we gave, the skin we lost, the laughs we had. And like I said, the reason we're here right now is because of Coach Veldran. So I think it's wonderful that, and it's a testimony to him and the type of program that he ran, that we were able to essentially forge these relationships, and that have continued for decades, Coach. Not just a couple of years, but for decades. And we talk so highly about you, you know, whether I thought you were wrong or not, how you played me, that's got nothing to do with it, you know. But I had a great time playing for you, playing for Wakefield, playing with these guys right here. So it's all love for me, and I appreciate even being included in this. So I wish you well, and you know, lots of love.
I just want to say, Coach, you taught me how to take charge. I remember when I first played for you, you had Aaron B in the gym, and you was like, oh, you don't want to take a charge, huh? You don't want to take a charge, hey? Hey, Aaron, come over here and run Travis over.
I sound like Dave Chappelle.
I said, the hell with that. And you said, well, get out. And I walked out. And maybe like 30 minutes later, I was knocking back at the front door, like, I want to be back on the team. So, and after that moment, I did take that charge from Aaron B. And I took a charges from a lot of people. And I think by the tough nose that you instilled in just your coaching style was to go out here in this world and take charge. So double metaphor. Everyone on this panel, you can see how they made an impact on life outside of basketball. So you can go from Kenya down to Travis, down to Rayfield, down to Chris, taking charge in their own life. You know, just but just the whole taking charge, man. It's always remember how I didn't want to ever take a charge, Tony. Never. And Travis was one of them. I remember Travis stood up there to take a charge, and he backed up a couple of steps before he fell. And the coach was like, "What the hell are you doing? You gotta take a charge like this. Fight it. Don't fight it." So once you learn how to take a charge, they're the easiest things to do. So, and I never thought that taking a game plan to take another team's star moment out. And when I seen that, when we played WNL, we did that baseline drill to take a charge to get Jackie Moore
Fouled out.
Yeah.
Travis, come on, man. Hey, Trav.
Well, not execute. Well, his fifth foul to game. I mean, that what, man? What? No, I'm just saying we did that. We did that with the charge. We took a charge on Jackie Moore to get him out the game, and I didn't know
Who took the charge, Travis?
I think it's Roy Barr.
No, I got the second one.
On the baseline?
Not on the baseline.
No, it was a play that we did from
it's on the baseline.
And we had to run the baseline because we knew he
Oh,
was
yeah.
And somebody was to stand at under the basket, and we run from one end of the sideline to the other, knowing he would be there, and we take the charge. And that was the play of that game at Wakefield when we played York WNL and beat them. So it's just the methodical things like that had me always like Coach Veldran. He instilled this, he showed me how to be detailed on things. So I appreciate that, Coach. I know I might have been long-winded, but I appreciate that. I just appreciate your tough-nosed and you always was honest. No matter, always honest. Whether it hurt somebody's feelings or not, you was always honest. And I really appreciate honesty. So.
If I could take away from anything, when I left high school, it was I had some tough decisions I had to make, So I appreciate the coaching that I had at Wakefield because it prepared me for the next step in life. It wasn't easy, but I felt like I was prepared for it as much as I could be at the time. I just appreciate the platform that you presented, that you created. I mean, I'm looking at these guys on the panel. Rayfield's not here. Coach, I want you to understand how much I love and appreciate these guys that you coach with Kenya, Travis, and Tall and Rayfield. I mean, we've built relationships that will never be surpassed. I'm just so very thankful that, we were able to do what we did. We would like to have gone further, but that's okay. And everything is all right. Whatever heat you may have taken, understand it didn't come from the guys that you coached. We appreciated the season, and we have made a lifelong bond that will never be broken. So I personally, from the bottom of my heart, want to say thank you. And thank you for Kenya and Travis and Toll and Rayfield. I appreciate them so very much. And if I take anything away from this, it was that you make friends, you keep them close, and you keep moving forward, and you support those that support you. I mean, that's all. I'm just so very thankful. I appreciate you, Coach Veldran, Coach Tom, Coach Bernhardt. Yeah, mean the world to me, and I just thank you. So that's pretty much it for me.
That's good stuff, man.
Yeah, man.
I love all you guys.
Yeah,
one thing I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say three things about you, Coach. One thing is I missed having the opportunity to actually play for you. I would have loved to play for a coach that was
you wouldn't play.
That is tough nose and
Travis told to kick your ass. You wouldn't have played. If you came in and tried to say,
It's all right. Mute his ass.
From coaching, from my eye, I'm looking on the outside. I always saw that you always put team first. You had a lot of great individuals, but everything still had to do with team concept. It was your way, and this is how you went on about having great seasons, great teams, because what you installed in each and every one of your players and teams. Third thing, can we please steal the Friday night at the wake from you? Can we borrow that?
Sure.
We'll have it on a T-shirt. We'll mail you a T-shirt.
Absolutely. Friday night at the wake.
Friday night.
I like that.
Only problem is, and Coach Tom could probably attest to this. It's nothing like playing at the old Wakefield, man.
Yeah, that was great, Jim.
There's nothing like it, man. I got the experience for a couple of years. This new gym is nice. Don't get me wrong.
Oh yeah.
But it's nothing like that
Come
old
on, man.
With the bleachers and the Wakefield stomp shaking around. You don't have that now.
And you know, Coach Brotherwood, the visitors bench was by the concession stand. So all the people have to walk past the other coach's bench and in the front of the coach. Man, I miss that, man. God, we used to send people on purpose to go to concession stand, just keep getting in front of the coach. Dobson would be pissed. Mad as hell.
I like that, Tony. I like that.
Yeah, it's not like that now, man. It's all this new stuff, man. It's so different from the old school. So,
It is a nice gym.
Baby.
It is a nice gym, though.
It's nice. It's nice, but it ain't the old Wakefield, baby.
Doesn't have the atmosphere.
No. Well, the fans are right up on you, and oh man. Anyway, Coach,
hey, make sure you guys, Coach Tom and Coach Veldran, tell Coach Bernard. That's the only one that I haven't talked to.
Yeah.
But just let him know we said hello. Think about him and his family as well. You know.
I want to see the prescription in his glasses. I know they thick as shit too.
No, Coach Bernhard didn't wear no glasses, did he?
He got them now.
Coach Tom didn't wear glasses neither. What are you talking about?
Do you see Coach Veldran, Coach Tom right now?
I can't see you.
Look, Coach got his glasses off. Look at that. Hey, Chris.
Hey.
Yes, sir.
One day you gonna wear them too, big man.
Yo, they've been on episode 1, 2, and 3. Don't get it wrong. I lost my hair and my damn vision.
Oh my God!
I had to start to wear them, and I couldn't tell who was in the stands watching the game on the other side of the floor.
Oh man, it gets the best of it.
Oh yeah,
Tony, real quick. Thank you and you and Buck. I love y'all's show.
Thanks, guys.
I have watched episode after episode. I think y'all are on to something. Keep doing what you're doing. Give your haters the middle finger, and y'all keep it moving. Y'all keep doing what you're doing, because I'm gonna be a Wakefield warrior for life, baby.